Hey everyone, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. This is the preview for our biggest game of the season this Saturday, the FA Cup final against Aston Villa. And it has to be said, it really doesn't feel like it was over a year ago now since we lifted the FA Cup to end that horrible trophy drought that we were on. And now we're in a situation where we could potentially be winning the same trophy on the bounce. It's a great feeling, and it really does show progression in the club, especially as we've gone up a position in the league table. And realistically, next season, although we've maybe been a bit stagnant this season, with a couple of new additions to the side, with 2 FA Cups behind us, I honestly think that we should realistically be challenging for the title. We have to be, no exceptions next season. But this is a great opportunity for us to become the most decorated club to win the FA Cup 12 times, more than any other club in England, would be a great achievement for us. Of course, it's not going to be easy. I'd love to say that this game is going to be as simple as the 4-1 victory we had against West Brom on the weekend. But we know, despite Aston Villa's poor run of form, where they've lost 6-1, got absolutely battered by Southampton at St Mary's, losing 1-0 at home to Burnley, which was a real shock result. It's not going to be simple. It's not going to be straightforward. I don't really look at the form guide going into this. I mean, we're not necessarily on the best of form. Yes, we had a great win against West Brom, but that doesn't really mean a lot. Anything can happen in the cup. Absolutely anything. I mean, the Bradford game at Stamford Bridge earlier on in the season was enough to prove that. And if you look at FA Cup history, absolutely anything can happen. So I'm sceptical, I'm a bit nervous going into the game, but moreover I'm confident. I think we've got the quality to beat this Aston Villa side. I know that they've got quality up front, the danger men that obviously need to be pointed out. For me, it quite obviously has to be Grealish. He's a man that's currently on form for them and has been in the media for quite some weeks now. Benteke banging in the goals left, right and centre for them, although they've kind of drived up a bit recently. Although they did get that one consolation goal in there thumping at Southampton, so at least he's the one consistent player that you can pick out in that Aston Villa side. So he's going to constantly be a threat, and running at players like Mertesacker, you know that he's going to be a constant danger throughout the team. But I think, you know, the one weakness that we can analyse from this Aston Villa side is that they struggle to deal with pace in behind. And with Theo Walcott getting a hat-trick at the weekend against West Brom, him thriving with confidence, he's got to start this game, surely. In some capacity, he's got to start the game. I really don't want to pick the Arsenal lineup because I just know whatever lineup I pick, there's going to be so many people disputing it. So many people want to go different things. And it's really hard to pick this team. It's a great situation to be in, but it really is a selection headache. We've got Wilshere and Walcott who are absolutely banging form. They've got to start the game, surely, in some way, or are they going to have an impact from the subs bench? It's a really tough decision to call. But then you've got players like Giroud, Ramsey. How do they all fit into the side? How do you fit Wilshere and Ramsey into the side without playing one of them in a wide position and potentially wasting an outlet for us? Do we play Walcott up top? Do we play Giroud up top? I mean, the only real name that you could definitely put on the team sheet at the moment is certainly Francis Coquelin, who's got to start in the game. It's a great opportunity for him, certainly, to have all that time away from the club, to really break through at this point in the season, to go on in a period where Arsenal actually starting to break through in English football, where we're starting to regain the glory days in a way by potentially winning 2 FA Cups in a row. It's a great opportunity for Coquelin to come back into the side, his re-emergence, if you like. So it's a great game for him to be involved in, and hopefully it'll be a big performance from everyone in the Arsenal team. I certainly don't want a repeat of last season. 3-2, although it was a great game, it was a very stressful game. We made it very difficult for ourselves, and it's certainly not something I want to put myself through again. But the adulation when we got that Aaron Ramsey goal was certainly a feeling that I'm probably never going to forget. I'd like to think it would be easier this season. I mean, I think we've got better quality within the side. We've got Theo Walcott available, who wasn't around last season. We've got Alexis Sanchez. We've got a more robust defence, I think. You know, I'm going to give it a go picking the Arsenal team. I know that this was going to be so heavily disputed. Chesney in goal, Bellerin, Mertesacker, Koscielny, Monreal, Coquelin, Ramsey, Wilshere, Ozil, Sanchez and Theo Walcott. Obviously, the big names that I've left out, Santi Cazorla, first and foremost. I think he's not been on the best of form recently, and I think we're certainly going to be more, it's going to be more beneficial to the side playing Ramsey in the position that Cazorla's been playing in. When Ramsey came off the bench against West Brom, he put an absolutely quality performance in, hit the crossbar twice, so I think he's going to be filled with confidence. And considering he scored the winning goal for us last season, it's only natural that he plays in this game in his preferred position. Wilshere on the right-hand side, I know this is the position that's going to be so heavily disputed. I think he's got to play in that role because I think he's got to be involved in the game. He was probably, if it wasn't for Walcott getting 3 goals, he was head and shoulders the man of the match against West Brom on the weekend, and he's played really well for the past couple of games now. He's that driving force that we need within the side, and I think it's absolutely undisputable that he starts the game, and he's a lot more elegant, I think would be the right term to describe him on that right-hand flank. He cuts inside similarly to Ramsey does, but he also uses the position to his benefit. He works very well on that side. I think he's got maybe a bit more pace about him, and what I like about Wilshere is he takes it past players with ease. He's got a real nice touch, a real nice way of taking it past players so delicately, cutting inside from that right-hand flank. I think that's where I'd like to see him play. Sanchez, of course, no doubts about him starting the game. Mesut Ozil through the middle, pulling the strings. He's got lots of runners within him. He's got Sanchez on the left. He's got Walcott up top, who I think, you know, you can't not play somebody who got a hat-trick in a weekend, put in a world-class performance, and then not play him in the FA Cup final. And considering that he missed out on the opportunity last season, I think he's going to relish a chance in the cup final, so I think he's got to start the game. Leaving Olivier Giroud, it is a very tough one, but at the moment he doesn't strike me as a player that's high on confidence. Whenever he's played for us recently, he hasn't looked like the player that he has done in recent weeks, and I think that's a real shame. I think ever since the words have come out from Thierry Henry saying that we need to get a world-class striker up top, Giroud's not going to win us the league, his form has severely dipped, and that's very, very frustrating to see. I would like to see him involved in the game in some way because, of course, he got the assist last season for the Ramsey goal with that absolutely beautiful back heel. So I think he's got to play at some point. I maybe bring him on in the 70th, 60th minute if things aren't going our way in the game. But I think Walcott's going to be more beneficial, running in behind, getting behind the Villa defence. We saw the runs and positions he got into in the game against West Brom, and I think it's a game that he'd absolutely love to play. And he can certainly expose players like a Corey and Ron Vlaar. So I think Walcott is absolutely a no-doubts player to start the game. Of course, the defence really picks itself. Bellerin, it would be absolutely ludicrous to do what we did in the semi-final and play Debuchy, who was pretty awful in that game. Bellerin's the player that's on confidence. He's got to start the game. No doubts about that whatsoever. Koscielny and Mertesacker picked themselves, and Monreal, although he hasn't played the past couple of games, I think he's being concerned for the final. And given that he got the goal at Man United, given that he's played so well this season, he certainly merited a start in the FA Cup final for me. Szczesny a goal, that's probably going to be one of the most heavily disputed positions. I mean, if you just look at the amount of stuff on social media, the split is so vast between who wants Szczesny to start, who wants Ospina to start. I don't really care who starts, if I'm being brutally honest. If one of them makes a mistake, it's all going to come out with the whole, we need a world-class keeper. And yeah, we do. But in this situation, I personally would just go with Szczesny because he's played the couple of FA Cup games beforehand. Both keepers have learning curves, in my opinion, and they need that mentor above them to really show them the way and make them into world-class keepers to some extent. I think Ospina is a fabulous number 2 to have in the side. Szczesny is still young. He can still fulfil his potential in the side, but he can't be making errors like he has done previously this season. So it's a big game for Szczesny, certainly, and I think he's going to really want to play in this game, given that he wasn't given the opportunity last season and Fabianski played in our cup run, and you know, it's a big game for everyone. It is an absolutely massive game for us, and of course the FA Cup holds a lot of traditions. I'd absolutely love it if the players could understand quite how much this cup means to England, really. I think it's a real traditional trophy. It's not the Premier League, it's not the Champions League, but it is a big trophy, a glorified trophy, and to become the most decorated club to win it 12 times in history would be a great achievement for us. And I'm confident that we're going to go out there on Saturday, we're going to beat Aston Villa, and then we're going to have a trophy parade on the Sunday. But let's not speak too soon, because Aston Villa aren't going to make it easy for us. Tim Sherwood and his men, I've already identified their danger players, but they are going to come. They've got absolutely nothing to lose. They are the underdogs in this game, and they're going to play with absolute freedom. So my prediction for the game is a 3-1 victory to Arsenal. I think it'll be a bit simpler to the game against Hull. I think we might go 1 goal down early on in the game, but I think we'll claw it back to 3-0. Maybe a goal from Alexis Sanchez, maybe a surprise goal from Mesut Ozil. But yeah, those are my thoughts going into the game, really. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good game with all the hype coming on BBC and all the special programmes they've been showing recently. It's really getting me in the mood for it. So yeah, leave your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV. Check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll speak to you guys, hopefully, after an FA Cup victory.
Arsenal Fan TV, don't forget Transfer Daily starts again next week. Every single day you want to get your transfer rundowns on Arsenal players, on players linked to a move to Arsenal. It's right here on Arsenal Fan TV. Lacazette is a player that is on the lips of lots of Arsenal fans. Every day